Welcome back to the continuing saga of the Datsun Roadster. A few things that I've been working on prior to putting the dashboard back in the car. One of which, oops, let's see here. One of which is this little vent under here that actually the lever under the dashboard opens and closes the vents, one on each side, that allow fresh air to flow in through the grill in the front here. So as you're driving along, you got fresh air that you can blast in on your feet, or at least bring into the cabin or bring into the compartment. The rubber on the valves was completely shot, and so at DatsonParts.com they have new rubber. I pulled the valves out, and basically this is what the old rubber looked like. It was completely gone on the driver's side. This was from the passenger side, and fallen off. And so I pulled the vent out, and I cleaned them up. They were kind of nasty, rusty looking mess. So I cleaned them up, repainted them, put the fresh rubber on from DatsonParts.com, and reinstalling them. Now, on the driver's side, when I went to remove this bolt, which is the clamp that actually clamps the cable that actuates the valve open and closed, I didn't spray it with WD-40 first, or a penetrating oil of your choice, but I went to twist it, and the head twisted right off the bolt. So that's when I had to go ahead and pull everything out and figure out a way to repair the one that's already installed on the driver's side here. Anyway, in order to get this on, you actually have to bend the edges a little bit of the metal plate here, because it needs to slide in. Let's see if I can get this in the frame. It needs to slide in underneath this rod here that's riveted to the oval piece of metal. And so I had to kind of bend that flat piece out just a hair on the edges to get the rubber to slide in underneath this metal rod, which is the pivot rod that the actuator works on. Anyway, that's it for this. I'm gonna go ahead and finish these. I may go ahead and I'm deciding whether I want to do a carpet kit before I get in here and start finishing up the I gotta do the seats, the carpet, and put the dashboard back in, kind of wiping everything off down underneath here until I do a full-blown restoration, frame off. But that's for another time. That's not going to be this time. The wiring harness for the dashboard will be going through this grommet here and back. Some of it goes through underneath there to the engine compartment. There's another little bit that goes through on the other side to the coil. Yep, finishing up the vents, put that stuff back together. I'll get all the other parts back in. I still need to do some work on the blower fan here for the heater core. There's a little door that actually was, I think it was glued onto this probably piece of cardboard or something that just, filled up this area, so that when it's closed, it actually closes this off from the fan. And the vent on the bottom here that opens and closes and allows the air to flow out into the cabin compartment. Let's see which one. I know it's one of these here. There you go. So pulling that one, it either closes that off and opens up this vent where there's a rubber piece that's supposed to be on here that has hose that comes up and goes to the defrosters. And that whole rubber piece that belongs on here is gone. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. They have another one from DatsonParts.com available, and it's about $74, I think. I don't know if I want to do that, or if I'm just going to come up with something that I can screw on with those 4 screws that covers the hole, allows the air to flow, and has some kind of a piping that I can attach to the defrost vents. Will be necessary, though. Southern California, you do need to defrost your windows in the morning sometimes. And I'm not sure what kind of gunk is in here. It looks like it had foam or something in there that's completely deteriorated that helped seal it off when it was closed like that. Of course, you see the squirrel cage fan down in there. That piece is a whole lot of fun. kind of also, I don't know if I'm going to rebuild it or not, but and I also want to pull that little speaker out down in there and refurbish that, repaint it, put a decent speaker in it so the radio will work. I still have plans on figuring out how I can put some good speakers in the car. I did a job earlier where I had put speakers in the sides here, but of course that's old and worn out and broken up, and it worked well for a while, using the holes that are already here in the body. There's already vent holes, so I just used that, and made a spacer out of plywood for this one so that the back of the speaker would fit down in the hole there. I may reuse that style, just put some fresh speakers in there, or I don't know. I've seen guys use that back shelf in here and drill holes in it to the trunk, but I don't want to drill holes and compromise the integrity of the vehicle at all. So I'll figure something out with that. I've also seen people put speaker panels like molded into the door here or somewhere up in the kick panel here. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and finish getting the vent in on the passenger side. Got a bunch of other things to do. But once I get the dash back in here, we'll be getting back on the road very, very soon. So that's it for now. Let me go over something real quick. When the head broke off on the bolt on the driver's side here that's in now, I tried to use an easy out to get it out. I had to pull the entire cable assembly. Okay, never mind until next time. Let's get into this real quick. I had to pull this cable assembly out that goes over underneath here and into that. So it attaches here, it goes across, just does a curve, comes straight back through here, and then attaches here, kind of like a motorcycle end or something. In taking this piece off, I broke this little spring washer that keeps tension on here and keeps it from flopping around too much. I had to fix that by, you can't find them anywhere, so I had to put it back together again, basically on the back side with JB Weld. I filed it and scratched it up really good so that the JB would have a good surface to adhere to, and I repaired the washer itself by gluing it back together from the back side with JB. We'll see how long that lasts. Seems to be okay for now. So this one, the head broke off. You can see there's an Allen screw in here. I was unable to locate the correct bolt for this piece here. The whole thread is a 3.5 millimeter with I think a 0.7 pitch. So it's kind of hard to find those around. I found this at, of all places, Hobby King in China. And I was able to order a full set of these for, I don't know, under $1. Maybe it was $1.60 or something like that. But what I had to do is, I'll show you on the one that's out of the car to make it easier here. Okay, in order to get this piece of threaded shaft that was broken off all the way down in here, holding the cable in, that's the thing, there was a cable going through the hole here as well. So I had the whole cable assembly hanging off and a broken off piece of thread. I drilled a small hole in the end of the piece of threaded shaft in there and tried to use an easy out. Again, I don't know what had it locked. Maybe the tip of the screw was locked in on the piece of cable there, but what I ended up doing was twisting it and snapping off the easy out inside the piece of threaded shaft. A lot of times that's the end. People would say just make a new part, get a new part, whatever. I'm not. I'm determined to do it the way it needs to be done. So what I ended up doing was I used a Dremel tool with a diamond tipped very fine bit, and I was able to go down in there and grind out everything very carefully, not getting into where the threaded area was, but grind out the shaft of the bolt all the way down to where the cable was in through there. and then I was able to get the cable out, and in order to get to it easier, I ended up removing this piece from the overall valve assembly. But in order to do that, this is a piece of flared, I believe I want to say it's brass, but I don't think that would be hard enough. It may be bronze, I don't know. But it's flared on the end here. I had to grind that flare off and pull this washer off. And so then the thing became, okay, how do I reattach it since I already ground the flare off? I ended up finding again in China, 3.5 millimeter tap on eBay. Very inexpensively, I think it was like $5 or $6, and I was able to tap through both sides. I was able to actually scrape out what was remaining of the bolt thread inside this piece in this hole, and I was able to tap through on the other side. So I have this washer with a cut off. I had to cut off one of the 3.5 millimeter Allen head screws going in on the back side so it does not protrude into this hole at all. So it's a short one, and I used thread locking compound on that. So that's what remounted this piece to the valve on the driver's side. It's got 3.5 millimeter in the back side, locked in with a thread locker, and then this side was rethreaded, or it was just cleaned out with the tap basically. I got in there with the tip of an X-Acto blade and was able to scrape out most of the remaining thread from the old bolt that I had to grind out. Smart enough to soak this one with WD-40 before I ever attempted to try to get it out, and as you can see, obviously I got this piece out intact. But anyway, so that was the repair job that I had to do. So that probably should have taken 15-20 minutes, ended up taking me a couple days. Such is the case when working on these Datsun Roadsters occasionally. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. And at that, I'm going to leave it for now till the next video. Again, you can get these the rubber seals, bits and pieces. DatsunParts.com is where I get it. You can find it possibly other places, but I found that they're reliable and good guys to work with. I got the glove box that I replaced in the dashboard from them, and the dash cap and several other pieces. I intend to also get new weather stripping here. This rubber, the rubber around the wing windows, the wiper rubber here, they have a replacement that's an aftermarket version that's actually guaranteed to last a whole lot longer than this rubber, and supposedly very high quality, doesn't get sucked down in like some of the rubber that has been on the market from what I understand. And I'll be putting in a new felt wiper on the inside, new weather stripping. This, I don't know, I doubt they have the weather stripping for this. This is something I'll have to find myself for this top. But door weather stripping, they have that as well. I have nothing on here right now, but the bumpers, yeah, this weather strip, here it is, which is obviously gone where it comes up here, so yeah, I need to replace that. Like I said, carpet, seats, gonna put in a roll bar eventually, and I hope to use the existing mount area. There's actually bolt holes here which I think go through to the frame, and they're designed for the stock roll bar. So that'll be an interesting thing. Anyway, until next time, enjoy your Roadster, and I hope you're enjoying the videos that I'm doing on mine. Take care.